Okay. Alright. Hello there. So, I am going to play another 5-minute game here. And I'm just resizing my board. Alright. Play a French. If I can get the move out. Actually, I'll play a Dutch. A classical Dutch. Simon Williams would approve. A lot. So I'm just going to fiendketto this light squared bishop here. You can play this in different ways as black. I'm going to put my knight on e4, which is more of an aggressive approach. And then I'm going to put this bishop on f6 and see if that works out well for me. I will mirror my opponent. I think knight e5 is really asking for me to just play d6 without too much thought, so I will. I don't really understand that. Yeah, okay. And knight f3 is basically an admission that my opponent didn't really think about that move. Standard development, I'll just go knight d7. Just, want to get coordinated here. Let's go a5 to sort of clamp down on the queen side a little bit, which is also a very typical move in the Dutch. It's a move you want to keep in mind. Actually, I didn't mean to play that move so quickly, but it's fine. I think it's a good move. It's a solid move. I mean, it's not perhaps not the best move there, but it at least it gets my opponent to clarify the position a bit, which should be in black's favor. Free will, baby. Free will. Okay, so let's go here. And g6. No, g6 is not a good pre-move. Okay, now I play it. Yeah, so this is just very, very good for black. Like, black is at least equal right now. So now I'll just ask his queen what it's doing. Then I will go e5. Okay, so he's getting aggressive. He is stating his intention very clearly. Very, very crystal clear. Okay, well, that's a fork, so limited ways I can respond to that. Yeah, so I gotta be a bit careful of this pin on my e-pawn. Case in point. I think queen e4 is good for that reason. Which is an over-defensive move of the e5 pawn. Over-protecting. f4, yep, that's a good move. Well, I need to get my king off that diagonal, so I will. And if he wants to trade ooh. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little quiz for board awareness here. So, after rook f4, what and this is something that an international master who I really like, John Bartholomew, has done in some of his videos. He'll tell his audience to scan the board and try to figure out what what undefended pieces are in the opponent's position, and I will steal this this little tactic out of his playbook. So, yeah, take a moment here and try to figure out what is loose in White's position, what is undefended in White's position, and you can pause the video if you want and try to figure that out. So, this should be pretty obvious, and it's the rook on b1, and not only that, but with that rook is also falling the bishop on b2, because both of those pieces were undefended, and my opponent was not thinking, really, just to be frank on that move. Okay, so I will go rook e7 now to defend the pawn on c7, because my opponent's queen is x-raying that pawn through my knight on e5. h5 is a good move. I will go g5, which I'm allowing my opponent to take on f5, and the only reason I'm doing that is so that my king can get better protection. Okay, so let's just do this. I'm gonna have to play a little bit faster now. I'm not talking as much. Okay, I'm gonna go here because he wants to play queen f5, and I'm not gonna let that happen. Let's go here, just centralize the check, win this pawn. Free will. Free will is all you need. Free will is all you need, man. Free will is all you need. It's all you need. Okay. So this is very cleanly winning for black. I will go f3, and if takes, I will take with... Can take with anything, and it's all winning, but I'll take with rook. Just to sort of illustrate the point about how this is so winning for black. I mean, it should be pretty obvious already, but simply take. And how should I win this with kind of low time here? I'll give this check. I'll just take. I'll just come this way with the rook. Yeah. Pretty clean. Pretty clean. Just take here. If I'm able to get my rook to c2, then I will hopefully be able to achieve a ladder checkmate. But, he'll prevent that, of course, with this move. Hopefully he'll hang the rook, but maybe he won't. Okay, just simplify. Yeah, okay. He's being an annoying little brat, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll just queen and win everything. Got to be careful not to stalemate in these positions, though. Every move you play should be a check. So there it is. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad there. Could have converted that a bit better, but it's all good. It's all good. Okay, so let's look back at that one. I really have to work out my board layout, though, because this is not ideal. Where did my opponent first... I apologize for that. First go wrong in this game. So I played the Dutch, which is not a super common opening, but I think it has some venom associated with it. If you know the good ideas, the key ideas of the opening. If you know those, then it's really quite a good choice. And if you're interested in learning that opening, I'd recommend looking into Simon Williams, because he knows the opening really better than anyone, probably by far. So check him out if you're not familiar with him. Yeah, so all this was pretty standard. I went for this pawn break with e5, which is a good way to try to maximize your position. If you have nothing that wins material, a good rule of thumb is you want to expand in the center, because otherwise you just won't be able to maximize your position, quite simply. Yeah, so all this was pretty normal, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and here, here my opponent obviously made a fatal mistake. I don't know why he played that move so quickly. Yeah, I mean, Rook F4 was played in literally under 1 second. So, don't do that. Do not play moves within a second, especially in a complicated position. What else can I add here? Free will, baby. Free will. If you have free will, you have everything. If you have free will, you have everything. That's my very, very firm opinion on that topic. Sorry to sort of go off topic there, but that idea is very important to me. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what else to add to the commentary here. I probably didn't play the opening in the... Okay, I'm just going to end the video here because my phone is malfunctioning too much. But nevertheless, I hope you were able to take something away from that game. If you'd like me to talk in depth about the Dutch defense, I'd certainly be happy to do so. So please let me know in the comment section if you have any questions about the Dutch opening, and if you'd like me to address it further. Thank you. Just seeing if there are any other tidbits here I can add. Now I realize, though, that probably my screen recorder is not able to see this section. It's just really... This whole thing is just really irritating to me. I apologize for the additional commentary. I will make it so that these videos actually have a smooth layout, and that when I talk, it's actually on on the topic at hand. So I hope you'll forgive me in these early stages for not being super professional in how I do these videos, but I will figure that out as time goes on, for sure. Yeah, here obviously my threat was rook c2, followed by bringing the other rook to b1, which would be a typical ladder checkmate, as they call it. But my opponent saw that. And yeah, in this position, if my opponent had played, forgive the little game review here. I'm just trying to get to an analysis board. If my opponent had played, just ignore these markings. my opponent had played rook c2 in that position, then I would have, like, right here. So rook c2, then I have knight e3, winning the rook. So these are just things you need to be aware of, even in very simple positions. Always look out for tricks and tactics. Never miss an opportunity with those. They're very... I would call tactics really the lifeblood of chess. So, and of course, as you train more and more of them, you will get better. That's just how it works. Okay, so that's it.